Let's take a look. 5 players who saw their Senior Bowl stock rise after a week at the Senior Bowl. This again from one of your articles. First guy we've already talked about, so Keanu Benton. We just talked about him from Wisconsin. Second guy, another Big Ten guy that kind of has been linked to the Browns some, is Adibare from Northwestern, another Big Ten guy. Now, a wide receiver that you keep hearing a little bit about, Nathaniel Dell from Houston. Running back, I'm intrigued by this guy, Tajay Spears. I saw him play in the bowl game against Southern Cal, and he is just fast. Cody Mock, offensive lineman from North Dakota State. So we already talked about Benton. Adibare and Dell are guys at position of need. What do you see from them?
Yeah, Adibare, I was told by Jeff Risdon, who was at the Senior Bowl, they just called him Northwestern 96 so that they made sure they pronounced it correctly. This guy is fundamentally sound. That's what you're looking at, a guy like this. He's got a devastating bull rush. This is one of the strongest linemen in the class from the outside edge rusher position. He just plays with tremendous leverage. He understands how to get under an offensive lineman's pads, where his hand placement needs to be, and he knows how to use the strength and the strong base that he has. And it's just, if you go back and you watch some of these clips from the Senior Bowl, he's just pushing dudes into quarterbacks' laps in the pass rush game. In run defense, he's doing a lot of the same things where he's not necessarily making the plays as much as he's just being in the way and doing the dirty work, which is similar to what Keanu Benton does in the run game. Is these things might not show up in the stat sheet, but when you watch them on film, you're like, okay, this guy understands what his role is, and he might not be making these glamorous sacks or tackles, but he is the guy that can play tremendous against the run. But Adibare, he can rush the passer. He's just kind of a stiff athlete, so he doesn't have that like explosion and bend around the edge. But he's as technically sound of a player that you're going to find, I think, in outside of the first round in this draft class. And I think he just uses that to his advantage. Now, Tank Dell, the thing about him is he's very undersized. That like he's hovering around 160 pounds, and you're talking about a guy that Jeff Risdon again told me at the Senior Bowl that, this is a guy that does not have a very big catch radius. He has short arms. He's really small and undersized, but it's clear what he can do in the open field. It reminds you of Tutu Atwell or even JoJo Natson, a much smaller guy. But if you put him out there and get the ball laterally and vertically, like, we talked about that with horizontally with Paris Campbell. I think he's the same style of player. You just worry that he is incredibly small and he's already 23 years old. But if that has him tumbling to like round 6 or something like that, you're not going to find a more polished player than Tank Dell on day 3 at the position. And if you've already addressed it in free agency, you could take a flyer on a guy like that.